Long ago in the land of Egypt, the Israelites lived as slaves under a powerful pharaoh. They were forced to work under harsh conditions, building cities and enduring great suffering. Pharaoh became afraid because the Israelites were growing in number, so he ordered that every newborn Hebrew boy should be killed. During this time, a Hebrew woman gave birth to a baby boy. To save him, she hid him for 3 months, but when she could no longer protect him, she placed him in a basket and set him afloat on the Nile River, trusting God to protect him. The baby's sister watched from a distance. As fate, guided by God, would have it, Pharaoh's daughter came to the river, discovered the basket, and felt compassion for the child. She adopted him and named him Moses, because he was drawn out of the water. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace, educated in Egypt's wisdom, and lived as a prince, but he never forgot his people. One day, seeing an Egyptian mistreating a Hebrew slave, Moses reacted in anger and killed the Egyptian. When Pharaoh found out, Moses fled into the wilderness and came to the land of Midian. There he became a shepherd and lived a quiet life for many years. While tending sheep near Mount Horeb, Moses saw a bush burning with fire but not being consumed. When he approached, God spoke to him from the bush and called him by name. God told Moses that he had seen the suffering of his people and was sending him to Pharaoh to bring Israel out of slavery. Though Moses felt unworthy and afraid, God assured him that he would be with him. God gave Moses signs and appointed his brother Aaron to help him speak. Moses returned to Egypt and stood before Pharaoh with the message, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh refused and made the suffering of the Israelites worse. Then God sent a series of plagues upon Egypt. The Nile turned to blood, frogs covered the land, insects filled the houses, flies swarmed, livestock died, boils appeared, hail destroyed crops, locusts consumed what remained, and darkness covered the land for 3 days. Yet Pharaoh's heart remained hard. Finally, God sent the last plague. The firstborn in every Egyptian home died, but the Israelites were spared because they followed God's instruction to mark their doors with the blood of a lamb. After this tragedy, Pharaoh released the Israelites. The people left Egypt in haste, and God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. But Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them with his army. When the Israelites reached the Red Sea and saw no way forward, Moses lifted his staff as God commanded. The sea parted, and the Israelites crossed on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters returned and destroyed the army. After their deliverance, the Israelites journeyed through the wilderness. They faced hunger and thirst, but God provided water from rocks, manna from heaven, and quail for food. At Mount Sinai, God descended in thunder and fire and gave Moses the 10 Commandments, establishing his covenant with Israel. But while Moses was on the mountain, the people made a golden calf and worshipped it. Moses came down in anger, broke the tablets, and called the people back to repentance. God showed mercy and renewed his covenant. The Israelites continued their journey toward the promised land, but when spies were sent to explore it, most brought back fear instead of faith. Because of their unbelief, God declared that that generation would wander in the wilderness for 40 years. During those years, Moses continued to lead, teach, and guide the people. But when he disobeyed God at a moment of frustration by striking a rock instead of speaking to it, he was told he would not enter the promised land. As the journey neared its end, Moses prepared the new generation and appointed Joshua as the next leader. From a mountain, God allowed Moses to see the promised land, though he would not enter it himself. After a life of faithful service, Moses died on the mountain. The people mourned him, and Joshua took over leadership. Israel prepared to enter the land God had promised. Moses' life became a testimony of faith, obedience, struggle, and God's power. From a baby in a basket to the leader of a nation, his story shows that God can use anyone for a great purpose.